6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. This week's vocabulary. Okay, and the video that you're gonna watch
Locals seem hopeless.
is this one. That's it. So you can start studying, you can start watching it and updating your glossary so you can talk and watch it. I really like that video. This is one of my favorites. Okay. Now, let's have a chat, shall we? Last week, we talked about causatives. So we are going to try to practice using verb have, using verb get, using verb let, and things like that to talk. Where is the conversation? There it is. Okay, so let's begin with question number 1, okay? And we are going to begin with Elsie, right? Elsie, good night. I have a question for you. Tell me, what should everyone take care of to do before quitting their job? I'm going to start taking notes of everything you say so I can give you some feedback.
I think, in my opinion, you should be sure to have savings for while you get another job.
Better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What else? In my case, I find a job better. Before to quit in my current job.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I don't know. For me, the most important is to have money.
To have money. Okay. What about the papers? What about your documentation?
In what sense?
Do you think it's necessary to get your papers updated?
Yes, but in my case, I have my papers updated always. Because we are constantly do trainings for the different brands that we are in charge. So we receive constants. So you have to do a carpet, because in the job that I I'm doing now
Mhm.
is part of ESR.
ESR? What is
Um,
ESR?
mm, Empresa socialmente responsable.
Oh, the Spanish institution. Okay. Yeah, ESR is, well, you can say that in Spanish. If it's a name, it's correct to say it. Uh-huh.
Bueno, ESR, and you have to have a carpet because every year we send this information because
Oh,
for one reason is important.
exactly. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So it's one of your like constant, uh, one of your constant um tasks is to have this file updated.
Mhm.
Okay, well, first the word carpet. If you look for the word carpet in Google, you're gonna you're gonna get something very different.
Sorry.
This is a carpet.
Mm.
So there's no way. The word that you're looking for is
File?
file.
Ah,
Yeah, exactly, girl. It was file.
sorry.
Okay, now that particular part is a good application for the verbs that we saw last week. You can get or have, I would use the verb have. You can have a file updated or have your files updated.
Had my files updated.
Exactly, using the verb updated in past participle and the verb have. Here, we are not talking about delegating tasks. Probably you are the one who does the action, right? But we are using a classic passive voice structure. Have a thing and then passive voice.
Okay.
Okay, that will be my first observation. It would be better to say we need to have file updated and sent also, because you said that you send it year by year, right?
Mhm.
So and sent yearly.
My file, my file, my files updated.
Mhm.
And send. Okay.
Sent in past participle.
Okay.
Mhm. That will be for the lesson that we saw. A good application in your case. Now, I didn't understand the part of the constantly constants. I didn't understand that part. What do you mean?
Sorry. Uh, Certificate?
Ah, yes, you were looking for the word constancia.
Certifications?
Yeah, right.
Sorry?
What do you say, Jimmy?
Certifications?
Certifications? Certificates. I think the ending certification. Let me check the application. There should be a difference. Certification is the act of certifying something. Okay, the act of certifying something. When certificate is like the official paper. In this case, it's certificate.
Okay.
Mhm. Small details, small difference. So we receive constantly constants. Well, in that particular case, you need to change constantly for constant.
Um,
Let me help you with a difference.
We receive
Constant.
Constant certificates.
constant certificate. We receive constant certificates.
Mhm. Option number 2, we receive certificates constantly.
Mhm.
Never use
Very-
constantly certificates. The opposite way sounds strange because I don't know which word you're describing. That's a little different, but it makes a massive impact.
We receive certificates constantly.
Exactly. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. Another thing that catches my attention is that you're probably gonna use, in this case, word assessment, official assessment, rather than certificate.
Opinion, judgment, also. Mm.
An assessment is similar to an evaluation, but it's official, you know?
Okay. Okay.
Are you talking about assessment?
Not really, because it's only a paper that has value for the manufacturer,
Uh-huh.
but it's not official. It's not valid with or
With like an institution, it's more like
yes.
an internal
Mhm.
control.
Yes. Mhm.
Then, we need to receive the certificate.
Mhm.
Custom assessment or custom certificate? Because the problem is that certificate is official.
Mm.
Certification, certificate is an official paper.
Mm-mm.
So then I think the word is assessment. We receive constant assessment or proof of
Mhm.
proof of access. Right. Which is something like this.
It could be, yes.
Mhm. A certificate of assessment, that's another one.
Okay.
Mhm. Both. So we receive certificates of assessment constantly.
Mhm.
Mhm. That's the word. The best adaptation from Spanish to English.
Okay.
That will be. That's a difficult translation. Mhm. And you don't deal with this in English, right? It's everything is in Spanish.
Mhm.
Makes sense. Okay. That makes total sense.
Okay.
How do you see const? Some months ago, I investigated constancia educacional, and it was also proof of study. The word constancia doesn't exist in English.
Mm.
Take a note on that. The word constancia
Proof.
has no translation. No direct translation. Everybody take notes on that. And those are the two most important, okay? Now, talking about the previous ones, there is some expressions that we need to fix. The expression you should be sure to, the chunk
Mhm.
should be you need to, or you should need to, or should make sure
Match.
of. Having.
Having.
Uh,
Okay.
You need the verb make, and sure, this is a chunk.
Okay.
Make sure plus ing. The word meanwhile versus while technically has no difference, but the poetry, like the intention of your speech. If you're gonna be super formal, you're gonna use meanwhile. Okay. The other one is more casual and much more common. Okay, but there is no difference. I suggest you use this one.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. I found a job better before to quit my current job. Here, it's very interesting because we have some words that are extra. Okay, even though we have some translation interactions, there are some words that don't fit. First of all, quit. The verb quit is a transitive verb, and transitive verbs need no connections, no connectors. So how do you fix this?
Quit my current job.
Exactly. Quit my current job. Never use a connector when you have the verb quit. This is a part of transitive verbs. Number two,
Never.
before is a connector and to is a connector. Never use two connectors together. The connector before uses an ing after it. Never a second connector. So how do you fix this section?
I find a job before quit in my current job.
You used in.
Oh, I'll find a job before quit my current job.
Exactly. But now before uses an ing after it. Quitting, exactly.
I'll find a job before quitting my current job.
Perfect. So you're talking in future. Okay, I'll.
Is it wrong?
No, yes, because you said found.
Is contrario. I will.
Exactly.
I will.
I would find.
Found. Found. I will. I would found.
Fine, simple form.
Oh
Found is
yes.
past. That's what happened in the original. Yes.
I
Okay.
I will find a job before quitting my current job.
Exactly. A job before quitting my current. And you know, when you repeat a word too much, a noun, you use a pronoun. In this case, it's better to say one.
Current one. Okay.
Use pronouns to replace repeated nouns. To avoid repetition.
Before always use.
Those are the corrections.
Always after before ing.
Yes.
Always. Okay.
Always. Always. Okay. Good job, Elsie. That was an interesting participation. The last one that you have on the bottom is the target of the lesson. You know, have plus past participle. Let's go to the next. Tell me, Jessica Solis. Good night, girl.
Hello, teacher.
Hi. Yes. Um, is walking late at night in your neighborhood safe?
Mm, yeah, no, no, isn't. uh, it's not safe. Um, it's not safe. Mm, not really, but it depends of the hour of the hour of the night and of the streets uh, between you walking. But in fact, I think uh, it's not um, a safe town, maybe.
Okay. What kind of measurements, safety measurements, do you take when you leave home?
Can you repeat?
What kind of safety measurements do you take when you leave?
Okay. For example, um, I don't, I don't know. Just, um, I don't mean like a town, but I don't know how to say. For example, mhm, I live in a center of I don't know how to say. I live near to the park, to the schools, and usually there are uh, there are I don't know, there are people who who sell like food. Yeah.
Okay. Like street food, like
Yes, street food. And for
yeah.
example, in the night, for example, before 11 o'clock, you can find those people. Mhm.
Interesting.
For example, I recommend don't walking after 11 o'clock, or don't walking in a street with with loud. I don't know how to say with like, sorry,
Okay.
without like. Uh-huh,
Without like,
yes. um Maybe you, if you can, go out with somebody,
Mhm.
um and maybe you try um try oh, you forget, try to no, That's all. I was
Okay.
thinking, but yes, that's all.
Okay, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like your recommendation was exactly what I needed. That's exactly what I needed. Look at this. Okay. Be careful with no isn't. Okay, that's very, very, very far away from like the expression no isn't and no really are
Mhm.
two very common mistakes that we commit in this class. And not only you, I have heard many, 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 many of you guys. Be careful with the word no really. The expression is not no, comma, it isn't, because we cannot use isn't alone. We need a person all the time. If you don't find the person, use it. Okay. And the second observation is that the word no is only used as the answer to yes, the opposite of yes. The word not really, you should learn it as a chunk all together. Never say no. Okay.
Okay.
The next one. I'm going to focus here on the recommendation.
Yes.
Okay. The part of the recommendation is the part that I needed because my intention was to make you use one of these connectors using verb with connector two.
Mhm.
When you have two adjectives together, no, an adjective next to a verb, use connector two. It's important to establish agreements, right? Like last class. But this is very similar to what happens to a verb. When you have verb number one and then verb number two, you connect them with connector two. Well, this is the same case. Oops. What happened to my notes? The same case that is happening here. I will open in a second because I closed it by accident. Anytime. I even forgot the example. Ah, yes, you said I recommend not to. The correction should be I recommend you not to walk. Not to. A negative to. I recommend don't walk. So the negatives are the issue here, you know? Alternating between not, no, and don't.
Mhm.
A recommendation is never use don't. Never use don't when you in the secondary verb.
Okay.
You know, in this case, the principal verb is recommend.
Okay. In the second verb, don't use the.
Never, 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 never. And when you do that, just make sure that the connector the connector to is after the negative.
Okay.
Use not to. if the secondary verb is negative. That's pretty much the observation from the lesson. When you are talking about two verbs, make sure your verb is principal and secondary all the time. The rest of the corrections are small. Use depend on, not depends of. Okay. Use of the streets between you're walking. Never use between. That's precisely the last class again. Don't use between if you're not talking about location. Use where. In the streets where you're walking.
Okay.
When you were talking about the center of, I didn't understand if you were talking about downtown or the plaza. A plaza in English is a place that is the center of a town. Look, a plaza is a public outdoor square, especially in a town where Spanish is spoken. Usually the word main plaza.
Okay.
You know, technically Zócalo is the biggest plaza in Mexico. Are you talking about plaza in your example?
I don't know how to say it because it's not the center. It's not really the center
It's not downtown.
of the downtown.
Exactly.
It's the center. I don't know how to say in English, but
But say it in Spanish, what did you mean?
colonia. The
Neighbor.
center. Oh. Okay. Yes, neighbor. The
Mhm.
center of the neighborhood.
So you were walking in the center of the neighborhood,
Yes.
but I think that's a plaza because you were talking about people selling food, street food, no?
Yeah.
That's a plaza. A small plaza, but it's a plaza.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I am not sure. I mean, it's not like a center of a town. Yes,
Can
a
you,
town.
can you tell me the name so I can Google me on maps?
Yes, the neighborhood's name is San Jose, and it's a neighborhood Tláhuac. In Tláhuac.
San Jose Tláhuac Park. I have this in Google. And this is the center of the neighborhood.
Yes, but but yes, San Jose is the neighborhood, and I live in the center of the neighborhood, next to the to the park, to the church.
But that's a park, right?
To the church, to the I don't know how to say um, mm, I don't know how to say how do you say centro de salud?
Hospital.
Just like a hospital.
Then it's a park. In this case, it's a park. It's not a plaza. Yeah, forget about it. The center of the yeah, because this name is very strange. The center of the
Yeah.
neighborhood, nobody says that. We say the park or the local park.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
It
correction.
sounds,
On
it
the
sounds
local.
better.
Yeah, right. Mhm. Yeah, nobody says the center of the neighborhood. That's super Spanglish. Uh-huh. Okay, finally, the word you can found. Be careful over here. Found is past.
Mhm.
Can is a modal verb. Never use a verb in past
With,
next to a modal.
with a modal verb.
Mhm. The golden rule. The golden rule of modal verbs is modal plus simple form.
Okay.
Correction?
Mm, you can find.
Mhm. Exactly. You can find. That's correct. People selling street food. Okay, we need to do some exercises on your vocabulary so you can remember words when you are talking, because you have a lot of vocabulary, but when you speak, you forget it. And it's very interesting. You have all this information, most of it is very controlled by you, but like something happens, you get like nervous or something.
Yes.
Mhm. Don't be scared. Just remember your vocabulary. That's it. Okay, good, 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 good. The application of the lesson was here. The recommendation. That was the objective of the lesson.
Okay.
All right. Finally, Carlita. Carla, you are going to answer the next question, but just give me a second because Jessie just arrived to the chat. Hello, Jess. Are you there?
Hello. Yes, I am here. Good night. So, is here Elsie? Hi, Elsie. Good night.
Hi.
Thank you. Jessie. Good night. Jessie.
Good night.
Thank you. And Carla. Good
Yeah,
night.
Jesse, good
Carla.
night.
Thank you. Thank you to be here. And have a good night.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you, girls.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Miss Carla, is there anything that makes you feel relieved when you arrive home after a long day? Feel relieved. Let's find this vocabulary. To relieve is to remove an unpleasant feeling. Many people would confuse the word relief with the word relax.
Yes. It's, for example, reduce the stress, this
Ah,
word. Okay,
Reduce is a synonym, actually.
reduce. Okay.
Mhm. So is there anything that makes you feel relieved when you arrive home?
Yes, the first one is um to don't work anymore specifically when I have a hard day in the work. No. The second is talk with my husband in order to express maybe some things that I need um to um, when I explain some things when someone, I feel relief. It's like a to close this part and feel very very comfortable with me.
You want to say
This
liberar?
yes, yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But I don't know what is the right
Yes,
word to say this.
release.
Release? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
You
okay.
can use the word release.
Okay, okay. Mm, I suppose that relief is only to deliver something. No, maybe I am not relate to the feelings. Maybe
Okay, okay, okay. You were thinking about products.
yes, yes, but it's not only for this. It's only to okay.
Also for speaking with
Yeah.
somebody,
Speak.
you release things that you don't need.
Ah, okay.
You release the
Okay.
kraken. Have you heard that?
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
um, this and the second, I try to do another activity. Yeah. So I think it's important to release the mind or to open the mind to reduce the stress. No, for this reason, and maybe the last one, it was a complicated day, not a long day, maybe a hard. I get an assistant or help with my husband to give me an advice or to or sorry um or to have another point of view, no, of the situation, for example.
Wow. What a life. What a beautiful life that is. Very good. Very, very nice. Okay. Let's talk about some positive things first, because you accomplished the topic of the class. You precisely used adjective, connector to, and then open. You know, and
Okay.
there is another that you can use. In the case over here, let me number all this. Number. Okay. In case number 5, the task is accomplished, right? You did the correct structure.
Okay.
In case number 4, it was possible to express some things that I need to liberar.
So,
Okay, exactly. In this case, we needed the word release. And you can use passive voice because usually the verb release is often passive. Using the verb get can help you express what you want to say. To express, or phrasal verb let out
okay.
some things that I need, no, that needs to get released.
Released.
This one is a way to use the structures that we have been studying.
Okay.
Okay, so the verb in past participle is pretty useful, but I know that it's complex. I know that it has some struggles. The best way to find it is by getting examples from external sources and everything that I have been saying these days. Okay.
Okay.
There is a chunk over here. We don't talk with people. We talk to people. Talk to.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Have a hard day in the work. This chunk. Yes, you know. It's another chunk. And these don't work anymore. Together with This number 1 and number 3 are together in this case.
Mhm.
When you talk about activities, when your subject, let's talk in grammatical terms. When your
Mhm.
subject is a verb, use a gerund.
Yes.
What is a
ing.
gerund? An ing.
Yes.
So what helps you release your stress? The correct form to say this would be
Talking.
talking, correct?
Talking. Sorry. Yes.
With, no, talking to my
To
husband.
my husband. Mhm.
That helps. Using an ing to express things that I like to do
Mhm.
that help. Doing this, doing that, ing this, ing that.
Okay.
What happens if it's negative? Easy. This is not a verb. So it's very similar to what happened to Jesse. What negative used was necessary for Jesse?
Not
Not. The correction here is
working anymore.
exact. Because there is no subject. Your subject is a verb.
Mhm.
Not working anymore helps. You know,
Mhm.
that's a note. And the last one, never use an adjective by itself. Always use a noun after an adjective. For example, it was very difficult to understand the one time when you said the last one is a complicated, maybe a hard, because I didn't know what you were talking about. Do you understand when did you say that?
No.
Exactly. That's the effect. That's exactly the effect.
Okay.
Because you wanted to say when. The last one
Mhm.
is when there is a complicated day.
Mhm.
Take your time. Don't rush.
Mhm.
You jumped all this information because you wanted to go fast, and then the word day was necessary to understand the sentence.
Okay. Yes.
At the same time, maybe a hard what?
A hard day.
A
No.
hard day.
Yes. Mhm. And it's
And
the same.
it's the same. Mhm.
Mhm.
Now here, there is a repetition.
Mhm.
Day and day. In Elsie's expression, we have something to avoid repetition.
Okay.
Use pronouns to avoid repetition.
Mhm.
What pronoun did we use with Elsie?
Um. Was
The original idea was, I found a job before quitting my current job. Job and job.
and Jeff. Okay.
So I find a job before quitting my current.
One. Okay.
This is the word that is replacing the word job.
Okay.
The same is happening here.
Complicated, maybe a hard one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Use pronouns to avoid repetition. Ta-da! Any question?
No, teacher. Thank you.
There you have it, Carlita. I'm going to send it to you.
Thank you.
And girls, excellent job. Good conversation today. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, right?
See you. Good night.
See you.
Bye bye,
Good night.
girls.
Bye bye.
See you later.